starring the entire Nelson family, Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky. Here is Ozzie, who plays the part of Ozzie Nelson. And, of course, his lovely wife, Harriet, as Harriet Nelson. The older of the Nelson boys, David, appears as David Nelson. And his younger brother, the irrepressible Ricky, played by Ricky Nelson. The Nelsons' next-door neighbor, Thorny, is played by DeFore.
Come on, David, that's cheating.
It is not cheating.
It is so.
The trouble with you is you're a chicken.
Oh, yeah, that's what you think, wise guy.
That's what I know, half pint.
You better watch out, David. I may be small, but I'm awful mean.
Oh, sit down.
Hey, take it easy, will you? What's all the noise about?
Oh, were you talking too loud, Pop?
Are you kidding? Is this one of your friendly little discussions?
Yes, sir. That's what I can't understand. How can anybody be as smart as you and have a son as dumb as David?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm in high school now, and I'm getting a little bit too old to get in these silly arguments with you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, come on. Calm down, will you, fellas?
You better tell him to be careful, Pop. I'm getting pretty strong, boy.
That's a laugh.
Oh, yeah? Have you seen my muscles lately?
What's the matter? Can't you find them either?
Come on, take it easy, will you, guys?
Okay, Pop. Ricky has something important he wants to ask you.
Who, me? I thought you were going to ask him.
We had the elections and you were elected.
Yeah, I know. I thought I voted for you.
You did, and I won, so you have to ask him.
Yeah, well, somebody better ask me or I'll never find out. Come on, David, what is it?
Well, we'd like to do our Christmas shopping a little early this year, Pop.
Well, it sounds like a fine idea to me. You certainly have my permission for that.
Oh, boy, come on, let's go, David.
Wait a minute. You're forgetting the most important part.
What's that?
We need some money to buy the presents with.
Atta boy, David. I knew you could ask him.
I've been framed.
Pretty neat job, too, if you ask me.
Oh, I don't mess around, boy.
Looks like I'm the guy that's been framed. How much is this going to cost me?
Oh, don't worry, Pop. It won't cost you anything.
Well, there must be a catch to it somewhere.
There is. See, we want to work for the money.
Well, that sounds like a very commendable idea.
You can blame David.
I thought if we worked for it, we'd appreciate it more.
Yeah, that's right.
That's at least the way I feel.
I always appreciate it more if Pop gives it to us.
No, David's right, Ricky.
Can we do it, Pop?
Well, I don't see why not. I think there are lots of little jobs you can do around the house and earn some extra money.
What's this? Did I hear you say you were paying for housework now, dear?
Well, only for the boys. You see, they want to earn a little extra money for Christmas presents.
Well, that sounds like a fine idea.
Well, that's not exactly what we meant, Pop.
Well, I thought you said you wanted to work and earn some money.
We mean a regular job in a store.
A regular job?
Oh, just on weekends and after school, maybe.
A lot of the kids are doing it.
Well, I'm sure there are lots of things you could do around the house here. You could help your mother with the chores.
Yeah, but we want to make some money.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but if Mom doesn't get paid, then it's not fair.
Yeah, that's a thought.
Now, just a second. Let's tackle one problem at a time. Where do you guys think you could get a job?
And we could work in a store.
No, I think you guys are a little young for that.
And we talked to Mr. Miller at the grocery store, and he said he'd think it over.
Oh, I don't see how you'd make much money.
If it was an ice cream store, I'd work for nothing, boy.
Maybe they have something there.
How about it, Pop? What do you say?
Well, I don't suppose earning a little Christmas money will do you any harm.
Oh, I'm not sure I like the idea of they're going out and working in some strange place, though.
Oh, don't worry, Mom. We know practically everybody in town. Or at least Ricky does.
Really?
Sure. When we go to the bakery, the lady always gives him a free cookie. When we go to the drugstore, he gets free bubble gum. He even gets free ice cream at the soda store.
So you do all right, don't you?
Oh, I don't mess around, boy.
He knows everybody. He's a regular politician.
Can I help it if older women find me attractive?
I still think you guys are pretty young to go out and get an actual job.
Pop used to work when he was a boy, didn't you, Pop?
Well, yes, that's true, David. I'll never forget this one winter. I think it was the coldest winter we ever had. I had this job working Saturdays in a grocery store. I had to trudge 3 miles through the snow just to get there.
Did you work afternoons, too?
Well, no, it wasn't a regular job, but... See, it seemed in those days we had more snow in the winters, and your Uncle Al and I used to pick up some extra money shoveling snow off people's sidewalks. Never forget this one afternoon, we took care of 15 customers.
Holy smokes.
Well, that sounds like a lot of hard work, boy.
Well, if you figure on earning extra Christmas money, you gotta count on a lot of hard work.
Well, it's okay with me, Pop, can't we?
Well, it's up to you guys. It's all right with me.
Gee, thanks, Pop.
Well, I want to go on record as saying this is not my idea.
Come on, Ricky. Let's go.
I could have been talked out of this very easily.
You boys be careful if you're going downtown.
Okay, Mom.
Will you do me one favor, Mom?
What's that, dear?
Will you tell David he doesn't have to hold my hand when we cross the street anymore?
Come on, we want to hold your hand anyhow.
Oh, yeah? Don't forget, I'm also attracted to younger women.
Imagine those guys looking for a job.
I hope they don't get into any trouble.
No, they'll be all right.
Oh, say, before I forget it, would you pick up a couple of things at the grocery store for me?
Oh, I think it could be arranged.
Well, here's the list. It's just a few blocks. You know where Miller's grocery store is, don't you?
Oh, sure. Well, is this a complete list? Just eggs and a pound of butter?
No, don't worry about that, dear. I gave Mr. Miller a great big list of things yesterday. They're waiting right there for you to pick them up.
Oh, great.
Oh, it's not that much. I'd pick them up myself, but I have to go over to Schultz's bakery, and that's in the opposite direction. Besides, you can work up an appetite for lunch.
Just a second. You don't care how the groceries get here as long as they arrive in time for dinner, right?
Well, no, if you don't feel strong enough, you can take Ricky's bite.
Well, that's not a bad idea, but I think I have a better one.
Okay, suit yourself. I'll see you later.
Miller's Market.
Hello, Mr. Miller. This is Mr. Nelson.
Oh, hello, Mr. Nelson.
Say, do you make deliveries?
Oh, sure, especially to our good customers.
Well, Mrs. Nelson gave you an order yesterday, and she'd like to add a dozen eggs and a pound of butter.
Okay. Yeah. Well, looks like you're having a party or something.
No, but we have two growing boys, and they sure keep putting it away.
Yeah, and fine youngsters they are, too.
Oh, thank you.
Say, that little feller's a regular card, isn't he? My wife says that all the women are crazy about him.
Yes, I know. He told us.
As a matter of fact, they were in here to see me just yesterday.
Wanted to know if I needed any extra help around the store.
Oh, yes, they mentioned they'd spoken to you. I think they're trying to earn some extra money for Christmas.
Well, I didn't know what to say exactly. Be honest with you, I don't need any extra help right now.
Oh, of course, I understand. Besides, they're pretty young, especially Ricky.
Oh, they're awfully good boys, though.
Say, wait, I just got an idea. Say, I wonder if you'd do me a favor.
Certainly try, Mr. Nelson.
Well, I was wondering whether you could find a couple of things for him to do down there and give him a couple of dollars, and then I'd reimburse you.
Well, I hate to take advantage of a situation like that.
No, it's nothing like that. In fact, you'd be doing me a favor. You know, you could just let him help out with a few things around the store, and then just give him a couple of dollars and add it onto our bill.
Well, if you say so, Mr. Nelson.
Like I say, they're awful good boys, and if they do any real work for me, I'll pay them myself.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Just make sure they don't find out about it. You know, it'd spoil the fun.
Don't you worry, I'll just tell them I changed my mind.
In fact, I guess we could use a little extra help at that. We're expecting some things in for the holidays, and the boys could help me unload and put them on display.
Oh, that's fine.
And they could make some deliveries for me, too.
What time do you want them there?
Anytime after lunch, say about 2 o'clock.
Okay, then I'll tell them.
Say, why don't I call them on the phone and make it sort of businesslike?
Well, ought to be just as easy if I tell them I was speaking to you on the phone, or any way you want to do it.
Okay, Mr. Nelson. Don't you worry about a thing.
Okay, goodbye, and thanks a lot.
Bye.
Hello? Yes, just a moment. David, it's for you.
Thanks, Mom. Hello? Yes, sir? Yes, sir? Yes, sir. Gee, thanks a lot, sir. Yes, sir, I'm sure we will, sir. Gee, and thanks a lot, sir. Yes, sir. Goodbye, sir.
Who was that, the truant officer?
Guess what, Pop? Who do you think that was?
Well, I would say offhand that was probably one of our local merchants who called to offer the Nelson boys a job.
That's right, Pop. How did you guess?
Oh, call it a wild guess or a shot in the dark.
Say, what is all this?
We got a job, Mom. Guess where we're working?
Wait a minute, Dave. I think it might be a good idea if you don't tell your mother and me. Just keep it a secret.
What for?
Well, I mean, I think it's more fun that way. After all, the boys don't have to tell us everything they do, you know.
What's all the noise about?
We got a job. We start this afternoon.
Oh, boy. How much do we make?
I don't know. We didn't say.
I'm sure you'll be well paid, Ricky. You just worry about doing a good job.
I will, Mom. What are we supposed to do, David?
I don't know. We'll find out when we get there.
Well, what time do you boys have to be there?
2 o'clock.
How'd you know, Pop?
Oh, well, I figured, it figures.
Let's get there at 1 o'clock and pick up some overtime.
The man said 2 o'clock.
Well, I better get your lunch ready. I don't want you to be late.
I wish I knew how much the job paid.
Will you please stop discussing money?
Okay.
Sounds so mercenary.
Okay. Big man, lofty principles.
Take it easy, will you, guys? I should think you fellas be very happy you've got a job.
Oh, I am, Pop.
Me too.
I was kind of worried there we weren't going to get one.
Did you think we were gonna get one, Pa?
Well, yes, I felt pretty confident the moment I heard the phone ring.
How come?
Oh, I don't mess around, boy.
Hi, Oz.
Oh, hi, Thorny.
What's up? Planning a trip to the moon?
No, I was just looking up at the sky. The weather seems a little threatening today, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Say, not to be changing the subject, but I just saw your two young sons heading down the street. They looked like they were in an awful big hurry.
Oh, they're pretty important guys today, Thorny. They were going to work.
Don't tell me they got a job.
Yeah? They want to earn a little Christmas money. It's pretty tough for kids to find work these days.
Yes, it is. My boy Will's been looking all week. But nobody seems to need a 15-year-old boy who's very good at basketball. Where did Dave and Ricky finally get their job?
Well, there's a bit of a catch to it. See, I phoned Mr. Miller down at the grocery store, and I made arrangements with him to have the kids do a few jobs around the store, and he's going to give them a couple of dollars, and then I'll reimburse him.
Oh, hey, that's not bad.
Well, I suppose it might be called cheating on the boys a bit, but I think you'll find something for him to do.
Oh, sure. There's always a lot of work they can do around a grocery store.
Well, I don't want him to do a lot of work. I mean, not lifting big, heavy crates or stuff like that.
You better not let him work too much around the frozen foods, Oz, especially in this cold weather.
Well, actually, what Mr. Miller will do is send them out with orders for the customers. It keeps them outdoors. It's just like playing, really.
Oh, yes, they can do that.
Of course, I don't mean the big, heavy orders. They'll lift the smaller, lighter stuff.
Oh, sure. Say, for instance, somebody needs an orange or wants a loaf of bread delivered.
Well, there are lots of things they can take care of.
Sounds like a swell idea to me, Oz.
Oh, gee, thanks, Thorny. I offered to give the kids money, but by golly, they turned me down.
A lot of kids like to earn their own way. I'll bet they get a big kick out of it. Yep, I remember my boyhood days. Every year, I'd go to work just before Christmas.
Oh, really? What kind of a job did you get?
No job. I'd go to work on my father. Nope, I wasn't anything like David or Ricky. Is there something wrong, Oz?
I just thought I felt a drop of rain. I wonder if it's beginning to sprinkle.
Well, it's been threatening all morning. It's kind of a raw, disagreeable day anyway, isn't it?
Come to think of it, I don't think the boys brought their raincoats with them, Thorny.
Oh, they'll be all right.
The store will probably be making a lot of deliveries on a day like this, too.
Gee, it's going to be coming down hard in a minute.
You don't think Mr. Miller will send them out if it starts to rain, do you?
Oh, Oz, don't worry. Besides, the kids love the rain. Well, I'm going to get in the house.
I mean, if it becomes really rainy, you don't think Mr. Miller would send them out, do you?
Of course not.
I mean, a kid can get soaked to the skin on a day like this.
Oh, it looks like we're in for a real storm. Wow, here it comes. Say, Oz.
Yeah.
I still have that umbrella I borrowed from you last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When you find a minute, come on over and get it.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, Harriet, do you know...
Quite a storm, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know where my car keys are?
Well, I hope you don't plan to drive on a day like this.
Yeah, I think I'll go over to Miller's grocery store and pick up the boys.
Miller's grocery store?
Yeah, they're working over there this afternoon.
Well, how do you know?
Well, I wasn't going to tell you this quite so soon, but I made arrangements with Mr. Miller to find a few things for him to do around the store. Then he's going to pay them, and I'm going to reimburse him. Of course, they don't know about this last part.
For goodness sakes, dear, wasn't that clever of you?
Well, I thought it was this morning, but now I see how rainy it is, I'm not quite so sure. I don't know as I like the idea they're trudging around this mud and rain all afternoon.
Well, I thought you said they were going to work in the store.
Well, yes, but he'll probably have them making some deliveries and things like that.
Oh, not on a day like this.
Well, you know kids, they'll probably be trying hard to make good on their first day.
Come to think of it, they didn't take their raincoats, did they?
No, nor their galoshes. I think I better drive over there and pick them up, Harriet.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary.
Well, I do. Frankly, I'm a little worried about them.
What about those jobs you used to have? You were pretty young yourself.
Yes, that's true.
You worked in the store. You walked 3 miles to work.
Well, Harriet, I've been thinking that over, and the store was actually only about 5 blocks from our house. Not only that, I didn't walk. My father used to drive me there in the car. In fact, he drove me around on all the deliveries I made. You know, the more I think of it, I'll bet he worked the same deal that I worked with Mr. Miller. I'd better go get the boys.
Oh, relax, dear. Here comes Mr. Miller up the walk now.
Oh, good. He's probably bringing the boys home. Hi, Mr. Miller.
Howdy, Mr. Nelson. Hello, Mrs. Nelson.
Hello.
Sure is coming down, isn't it?
Yes, an awful day out.
Oh, I better not come in any further. My feet are kind of muddy.
Okay. Where are the boys? Out in the truck?
Oh, yeah, David and Ricky. See, what happened to them? I waited around the store this afternoon. They never did show up.
You mean they're not working down your grocery store?
I know. I figured you must have kept them in with the way the weather turned out and everything.
Well, no. Somebody phoned at noon and told them to show up for work. I thought it was you.
No, it wasn't me. I thought you were going to tell them.
Well, yes, I was, but this party phoned about noontime and told the boys to report for work at 2 o'clock. I just figured it was you.
No, it wasn't me. I had lunch over at my wife's sister's place this afternoon. They don't have a phone. My brother-in-law comes over to the store and uses mine. Sits there talking and eating fruit. Runs a pretty good-sized bill, too.
That's funny.
Well, you wouldn't think so if you had to pay it.
I wonder where the boys are working.
Beats me. Well, bye-bye, Mr. Nelson. Bye, Mrs. Nelson.
Goodbye, Mr. Miller.
Bye, Mr. Miller. Here, I'll put those away, dear.
Hey, I'm worried about the boys. Did you hear that? They didn't show up at the grocery store.
Yes, I know. Let me check over this list and make sure everything's here.
Hey, did you hear what I said? The boys aren't at Miller's Market.
Yes, dear, I heard you. Milk, bread, butter,
Gee, I wonder where they could be.
soup, lettuce, string beans.
Well, aren't you worried about them?
No, not particularly.
Well, Harriet, it's pouring down rain outside. The boys don't have their raincoats. They don't have their galoshes or anything. They're someplace getting soaked to the skin, and we don't even know where they are.
Well, Mr. Schultz promised me he wouldn't let them leave the store.
Mr. Schultz.
Yes, they're working at Schultz's bakery. I only hope they don't eat up more than the $2 I promised to give him.
You mean to say you pulled the same stunt with Mr. Schultz that I did with Mr. Miller?
Yes, I did. You know, they say some people even get to look alike after they've been married a long time.
Here, I've been worried to death about the boys, and they're sitting in a nice, cozy bakery.
I only hope Mr. Schultz doesn't leave them alone with the chocolate eclairs.
Yeah, he must have been the one who phoned this noon. Say, it's getting kind of late. I did say, why don't you phone Mr. Schultz and tell him that I'll be down to pick the boys up in the car. I wouldn't want him to walk all the way home in this rain.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I hope they don't spoil their dinner. You know, Ricky and that sweet stuff.
What are they supposed to do down there?
Oh, I don't know. Mr. Schultz said he'd find something for them to do.
Well, I hope he does. Aside from the stomach aches, if he'd wind up owing Schultz about $50 if he ever sets them loose.
Hello, Mr. Schultz? This is Mrs. Nelson. Oh, fine, thank you. Say, will you tell David and Ricky that their father will come down in the car and...
I'll be down about 10 minutes, Tom.
What was that, Mr. Schultz? They didn't?
What's this?
Well, are you sure they aren't there?
Tell him to look in the pantry.
Did you call at lunchtime and... Well, yes, I know. Well, somebody called and told them to be at work at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Oh. Yes. Well, thank you, Mr. Schultz. Goodbye.
They're not there, huh?
They aren't at the bakery.
Well, I'll be darned. Where the heck can they be? I wonder what kind of places would hire kids about that age. Maybe drugstores or grocery stores or bakeries. Here. Call up every drugstore, bakery, and grocery store in town.
All right, you look in the book and I'll do the phoning.
Gee whiz, what do we do now? We called every grocery...
Hi, Mom.
Oh, boys, where the heck have you been?
We've been working, don't you remember?
Sure, we told you.
Well, yes, but where?
The Emporium.
The Emporium.
The department store? What were you doing down there?
We were actors.
Actors?
Yeah, Ricky and I and 3 other guys. We sat in a big window and watched television.
We were better actors than some of the actors we saw.
Did you just sit in the window and watch television?
Yeah, he gave us each $1.
Just think of all the times we watched the Thornberrys television for nothing.
Gee, you know, come to think of it, it's a pretty good advertising stunt.
Well, you boys are soaking wet. Did you walk home?
No, I took a taxi.
A taxi? Well, why didn't you phone? I'd have gone down and picked you up in the car.
Well, we tried about 6 times, but the line was always busy.
Well, your mother got kind of worried, and she's been phoning around town a little bit to see where you guys were. Gee, it's a shame you had to use up your money in a taxi cab.
I still have 50 cents left.
And I got a quarter.
Oh. Well, that doesn't even up. How come you have 50 cents and you only have a quarter?
I'm a big tipper.
Come on, you guys. Get out of those wet clothes.
The man wants us back every Saturday for the next month.
You should have seen the audience we had, even in the rain.
Ricky started showing off.
I did not. I always watch television stand on my head.
You say this man wants you back every Saturday for a month?
Yes, sir, that's what he said.
And all you do is watch television?
Yes, sir.
And he pays you $1 apiece?
Mm-hmm.
Gee. I wonder if you could use a slightly older boy. I have a propeller beanie, and we'll travel.
Hey, Pop,
Yes, Dave?
didn't you say you and Uncle Al shoveled snow off the sidewalk for 15 people in one afternoon?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I told Will Thornberry, but he said it's impossible.
It does seem like an awful lot of snow, dear. Are you sure it was 15?
Perhaps I should explain it a little further. You see, there was this apartment house, and 15 people were living in it, so we shoveled all the snow off the front sidewalk right in front of the place. Each one of the people gave us a nickel.